I am really interested to see how this roulette strategy plays out. It's called the Gold 24 and it's presented to us by Tony Z. Now, the hint is in the name 24. We are covering 24 numbers and we're going to cover two of the three dozens. For those that know the channel, you'll know that that's basically my favourite way of betting. That's my bread and butter, two of the three dozens. This progression looks very interesting. Not seen something like this. Going to be easy to follow along with. We are going to have to pay a bit of attention because we're not going to increase on a loser. We are going to count how many losers we've had and then increase. It's not going to be that difficult to follow along with. So we've obviously got our $1,000 starting bet. We're going to start at $5 units and we're always going to do the second and third dozen. Tony Z says second and third dozen, which is actually going to make it easier for me to count our losses. So what's going to happen here is, let's say, for example, the first spin is a loser. We're just going to repeat the bet. We're still going to be on 5-5, so a total bet of $10. Let's say we lose the next one. We're going to repeat the bet. Then when we eventually hit a winner, we are going to add those two losses that we previously hit. I will explain it as it goes on. Let's see what happens here to start off with. So we've hit a winner to start. We're simply going to repeat the bet. Now, Tony Z said that you can do this with $10, but you'd need about $1,500 bankroll. We've only got $1,000, so he says it works best at $5 each. We're going to go for the safer option. Now, apologies, Tony Z, if this could have done double as good with the extra units, and you miss out on the top 8, then apologies, but I might not have played it if we were going to do $10 units, because as we go through this progression, you'll see what I mean. So we're going to repeat the bet. So let's say we lose 2 and then we win. We're going to add 2 units to each dozen. So our units are $5. We're going to add $10 to each unit. Then we win, but we're not in session profit. We continue our count. So we'll have lost 2. Then we'll have lost the other one. Then we win. We're going to add 3 units. So if you win and you're not in session profit, you continue the count. You only reset the loss count when you're in session profit. I think it's going to make far more sense when we eventually hit some losers. Which, fortunately, we're not doing at the minute. So let's just repeat the bet. Obviously, if this goes on an absolute fantastic run, it's going to be very easy to say we should have done $10 units. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But if our count is, let's say, 6, because we've just not hit that session profit, we're going to add $30 to each bet. Then we lose again. Our count will be 7. We're going to add $35 to each bet. But not on the loser, on the winner. So it's got that sort of Oscar's grind. Right, here we go. So we can sort of play this out now. So we're not increasing our bet right now. We're just remembering, right, we are 1 loss in this progression. So when I hit a winner, I will then add that 1 unit on. If I don't get to session profit, I'll continue the count and it'll be 2. I feel like I've repeated myself quite a lot there, but I can appreciate that it might not make any sense unless you see it. I had to read the instructions a couple of times. Right, so now we are going to add that extra unit. So we hit our losing streak, which was 1. We won, and now we add those. We're adding 1 unit on because our loss was 1 spin. Have a cup of tea whilst I stop explaining the same thing 800 times. Sometimes I apologize because most of you guys are very, very smart and you'll have understood what I said the first time. But I have a mix of people that watch, some that are reasonably new to roulette. So I just want to I'd rather explain, or I'd rather over-explain it than under-explain it. So we're in session profit now. We're just going to go back, reset our count. We're on 5 and 5. Super simple. Session profit, reset. Go back to the second and third dozen, $5 each, and then we're going to do that count again. It's going to be interesting if we have a count of 3, then lose. No, sorry, a count of 3. Then don't get back to session profit. Continue to count from 3, so it goes 4, 5, add it on, etc. The way things are going, I'm a little bit annoyed with myself that we didn't go for $10, but that's so easy to say when you've won 6, lost 1. So if we were at $10 units, we'd be at $50 here. I still think that this could have a reasonable chance of maybe not getting to top 8 now. I've just thought about it. I think it's going to need some losers to get those big bets on to catch up. Right, so we're on the count 1. We're just remembering that. We're not putting it on yet. Because I've just thought, if you had 37 spins and you win $5 every single time, you're basically going to win $185, which is great. I take $185, but to get into the top 8 of this roulette strategy, of this roulette tournament, then I don't think that's going to be enough. But obviously, if you won $370, that could be enough. So maybe our bets need to get a little bit bigger via the progression. Right, our count is 2 now. So next time we're adding $10 onto... When we hit a winner, we're adding $10 onto both. So we're just going to repeat that bet. Yeah, so maybe we're going to need $15 bets. Sorry, $30 bets. So 15 on each. Total bet of $30. Win that a couple of times to go into the profit. We're going to see. And then at the end, we can say, yeah, this was safe enough to do $10 units. Or actually, $5 units is the way to play this. Okay, we've hit our winner. Our count was 2. So we're adding 2 units, which is 2 times 5, onto both. So repeat, add 10, and add 10. Now we have a $30 bet. Just go into these stats. So we were at 25. If we win this, we'll be back at 25. Do we reset? We're back at session profit. I will not reset to give this a bit more of a chance because I have hindered it a little bit. It gave me the option 10 or 5, and I went with 5. And because I dropped the base unit, I'm going to give it a bit more of a chance and not reset because we're not at a new session high. Now, I know for a lot of these strategies, you get to a new session high and or you get to where you were and then reset. Because if I reset back at $25, we've essentially wasted 3 spins and we're just not going to give it a chance to get into the top 8. I think that's a fair way to do this. Now we can reset. So we're at $40. Let's reset to 5 and 5. So far, this could have easily done $10 units, but we haven't really got that unlucky. What's nice about this is you hit 2 losers in a row, and you don't get that money on until you've hit a winner. So if you go like 8 losers in a row, you're not increasing every single spin.
Win number for this round is 28, is black even and high number. First column 3000. Congratulations to all the winners.
Like I said at the start, I love 2 of the 3 dozens. Those 24 numbers. There's a lot of ways you can play it. You can play it the double up dozens. You can do the double D'Alembert.
Best of luck.
You can do the matchmaker. Then obviously you could do the tripling gale, which play with caution. So when I find strategies that have 24 numbers and a unique way to play them, it does interest me. This could make it into a future video. I'm thinking of doing a video on. I'm thinking of doing a video on the best ways to play 24 numbers, and then have like a comparison of how they would have performed. If this goes the way that I hope it does, this could make it into that video.
No more bets. Good luck. What numbers are 1, 7, 0, 10, 13? Win number now is 28,
Okay.
black even and high number. Third column, second dozen, turns. Congratulations.
Tell you what I'm going to do for Tony Z. If this does really well, and because of the $5 units, like I said, Tony Z gave me the option 10 or 5. And I think because we're going through a bad streak, I just don't want to lose. That's all I want to happen, is not to lose. I picked the $5 units. If this does well, but can't hang on to the top 8, instead of giving Tony Z a third of the profit, I will give him all of the profit. Although it might just, even with $10 units, it might not have made it. We're gonna see. Right, we're on that one count. But Tony Z, if you're watching this and you're thinking, why didn't you do $10 units? A, you gave me the option, so I picked the safest one, and B, I might reward you extra in terms of how much profit this makes to say sorry for being a bit of a scaredy cat.
Win number 6 is black even and low number.
Okay, our count is 2.
Third column, first dozen, cold and our wins. Congratulations to all the winners and compliments to top 5 and LG. Bets on time.
Is the same thing going to happen when I eventually do get those $10 on each dozen and then win? I'll be right back at where I was, which was $55. Should I keep them the same? Probably. He has also said lower accordingly when bets are too high.
Win number in this game is 14.
Okay, so we've won that. Now it's time to get those losses on. So the count was 2. We're going to add 1, 2, 1, 2. And the same situation is going to happen, isn't it? We're on $40. If we win, we're going to go back to 55. To give this a chance, I won't reset until in a higher session profit, not back to where I was. Unless our bets are like 80-80, then I'm not doing that. Okay. So that's a loser. And this is where the thing that I was trying to explain constantly kicks in. So we were on the count of 2. We've not got back to session profit. So now our count is 3. So when we do hit a winner, we're adding 3 units to both. So we're adding 15 units to both. And we basically continue the count from where we left off because we didn't hit that session profit. Missed another one. Now our count is 4. So this is why I went for those $5 units. We're going to see how this recovers. Repeat the bet. Count of 4. Next winner, 20 each on both of them. We've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 losers in the past 5 spins, but our bets are only $30.
Row 10 and 28.
We've won that.
Numbers 13
Now we can get that count on.
and 4.
So we're going to add 4 units to both of these. Just repeat the bet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. $70 bets. So if we were doing $10 units, they would be 140. So now I'm walking back my previous comments about $10 units, because that would have been too much, wouldn't it? And we're going to need to win this twice, I think, to get back to session profit.
Win number for this game is 24. It's bet even and high number.
And we've got to remember,
Column second dozen times.
so I'm just going to repeat this bet, and we've got to remember that our count is 4, because if this loses, we go from 4 to 5. So if this wins, 55 plus 35, yeah, we'll be in session profit. We'll be at $65 if this wins.
In last 4 rounds, we have only black numbers.
Which it did not.
Number now is 2. It's black.
So now our count is 5. So we're going to add $25 onto both of these
Column first dozen.
when we hit a winner, if we hit a winner.
Time is open.
And we're not resetting. Well, he said here, lower accordingly when bets are high.
No more bets.
So if our bets get a bit too big, we might implement like an Oscars grind, aka we need the amount that we need to get back to session profit. That's how much we'll bet. Okay, we've hit the winner. Now we implement our count, which was 5. So we're going to add 25 to both of these. All right, $120 bet. So yeah, it would have been 240 if we were at those $10 units. We would be pretty close to, well, we wouldn't be close to busting out, but a $240 bet on the table, couple of losers in a row, we'd be in trouble. Oh dear me, we lost that one. So now our count is 6. So next time we're adding $30 each. Let's repeat this bet. We need to hit a winner and then we're going to add $30 to these. Right, so all of that I was saying about 5 or 10, I've definitely picked the right one of 5. Going on a bit of an unlucky streak now. Oh, come on. Now our count is 7. Ouch. Not adding those, that's 7 yet though. This number should be twice as much as this. So with 10 losses, we should be on 20 wins. That was plodding along nicely and then kaboom. I think it's because they just all came at the same time. Look at that. Loser, loser, winner. Loser, loser, winner, winner. Loser, winner. Loser, loser. So I'm adding 35 to both of these when we hit a winner, which we've just done one of them. Oh, this is going to take a big recovery, isn't it? Right, repeat. And 35 to both of these. $90 bet with $5 units. We're gonna need some. We're gonna need at least 3 wins in a row, I think. Oh, I don't know how this is going to make money now. Oh, wow. Right. Now our count is 8. So when we hit a winner, hopefully we hit a winner, we're going to add $40 onto this.
Number bets, please.
If I'm not mistaken,
And cold numbers are 5, 8,
if we were playing
7,
$10 units, I think we'd be game over.
Winning number now is 35. It's black or
Right, let me add $40 to both of these.
dozen and second column with its ratios. That's
So I can add that 3 times, that 3 times, and this once. Struggling. Need at least
number bets. Good luck.
2 winners in a row. And then I can drop the bets a bit. Because he has said, lower accordingly when bets are high.
Winning number in this game
Okay,
is 13. It's black odd and low number. First column, second dozen,
so we're
odd
going to
and
repeat the
six
bet.
with its ratios. That's the time.
If I hit this winner, I'm going to lower accordingly. If I hit this winner.
In the last 5
What
columns,
were we at? We're at $55. So I want to get back to 60. So
and 7.
I might put these at like $80 each. If we win this. Which we have.
Number is 13. It's
Lower
black
accordingly.
number. First column,
Right,
second
I'm going to do
dozen,
80
odd
each.
numbers with its ratios. That's it all.
We're still on a $160 bet,
Number
which
bets,
is a
please.
big bet. And our count is still on 8.
Six rounds
So
to
if we
go.
do lose, our count goes to 9 and we're going to add $45 to both of these. I think lower accordingly, $80 seems about right. And hopefully I can reset. Got it.
Number in this game is 20. It's black even and high number.
Recovered,
Second column,
back at
second dozen,
$70
odd
profit.
numbers with its ratios.
We're going to go
That's the
5
player
and
base
5.
betting
Now
time.
you could make the argument that we should have stuck at $135 and therefore 80, 35. So I reduced that bet by
No more bets.
110, didn't I? Which reduced the profit by $55. So if I didn't lower accordingly, which Tony Z has given me the option to do, we would be on a $125 profit so far.
And queen number is 20. It's black even and high number. Second column, second
Okay,
dozen,
just going to
odd
repeat
numbers
that
with
bet.
its ratios.
Let's go into those stats.
And queen number
So
20.
that did get a bit scary, didn't it? We were down here with $270 bets. We've had 33 spins. We've only got 4 more. $10 units might have seen us bust out.
Winning number now is 33. It's black, odd, and high number. Third
Let me
column,
just
three
repeat this
dozens,
bet.
fives.
Let me just quickly do the math here, just to super clarify if $5 units was the right choice. So if we were $375 down, if our bets were double, we'd be $750 down, wouldn't we? And our bets at one point were 270, so they would have been 400 something. So we would have collapsed. We'd have been 700 down, and we wouldn't have been able to do a $400 bet. So $5 units was the right choice.
It's red, high, and odd number. First column, second dozen.
Okay, we are on 35 spins, $85 in profit. Now, I would be really interested to see how other strategies would have performed. Like, I'm thinking the matchmaker, which is the one that I built with 2 of the 3 dozens, would have probably fallen apart even worse with that streak because we went loser, winner, loser, winner, loser, 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 winner, loser, 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 winner. Okay, we got one more spin. Yeah, so that collecting your losses, adding them on when you hit a winner, actually served this really well. And I don't think a lot of two of the three dozen bets could have hung on for that long. Like the tripling gale would have. Oh no, the tripling gale would have done okay because we did have a couple of winners in between, didn't we? The double up dozens, I think, would have done really badly because I don't think we had that 2 wins in a row for quite a long time. Might have gone bust. Right, guys, this finished $95 in profit, 37 spins. I think that is a clever way to play, to be honest. I'm quite impressed with the thought process of collecting them, adding them on later. It took us into a big hole, but then it took us out of a big hole pretty fast. So let me know what you think of the gold 24. Tony Z, that is not going to survive the full top 8. You're probably not going to win the tournament with that score. I do think I made the right decision, but I am a man of my word, so I will give you the entire profit because I played it on the safer side. Hope that keeps everybody happy. Guys, hope you're enjoying the tournament. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.